Hello guys, welcome to Economics for Everyone. In this video, we will see an illustration for competitive markets and tax. That is, when a tax is imposed in a perfectly competitive market, what is the effect on the equilibrium price and quantity? So let's start. Let's begin with the illustration. It says, in 2011, Americans smoked 16 billion packs of cigarettes. They paid an average retail price of $5 per pack. Given the elasticity of supply is 0.5 and elasticity of demand is minus 0.4, derive linear demand and supply curve for cigarettes. Next, cigarettes are subject to federal tax, which was about $1 per pack in 2011. What does this tax do to the market clearing price and quantity? The third part says, how much of the federal tax will consumers pay and what part will be paid by producers? So let's solve the first part where we have to derive linear demand and supply curve for cigarettes. We are given that the price is equal to $5 and quantity is equal to 16 billion packs. As seen in the previous slide, that is, the quantity is 16 billion and the price per pack is $5. Now, we know that the general form of the linear demand curve is given by Q is equal to A minus BP, where Q is the quantity consumed, A is the factors affecting the quantity except price, B is the slope of demand curve, and P is the price paid. So, and we also given here the elasticity of demand is minus 0.4. And we know the formula for elasticity of demand is change in quantity upon change in price into P upon Q. So let's substitute the values that we are given here. 0.4 minus is equal to, this is the slope of the demand curve, so we can write it as B. That is, it is negative, so we'll take it as minus B into P, we are given 5 and quantity is 16. This gives us the value of B is equal to 16 upon 5 into 0.4, which is equal to 1.28. Now let's substitute the value of Q, B and P in the above equation and let's find the value for A. Q is 16 is equal to A minus B, we are given is, we found out 1.28 and price is 5. So we get the value of A is equal to 22.4. So hence our demand equation is 16 is equal to, Q is equal to 22.4 minus 1.28 into P. This is our demand curve equation that we have derived. In the next step, hence we are done with the linear derivation of linear demand curve. Now let's derive the supply curve. We know that the price received by the sellers is equal to $5. The quantity sold by the sellers is equal to 16 billion packs. We also know that the general form of linear supply curve is quantity supplied is equal to C plus D into P, where QS is the quantity supplied, C is the factors affecting the quantity supplied other than price, D is the slope of the supply curve, and P is the price received by the sellers. We know that the elasticity of supply is given by the formula delta Q upon delta P into P upon Q. This shows the slope of the supply curve and we can write it as D. Hence, we are given this to be 0.5, elasticity of supply is 0.5 is equal to D into P is 5 upon quantity is 16. Hence D is equal to zero point 0.5 into 16 upon 5, which comes out to be 1.6. Hence the slope of the supply curve is 1.6. Now substituting the values in this equation to find the value of C, we have 16 is equal to C plus D, that is 1.6, and price is $5. Hence this. So the value of C comes out to be 8. Hence the equation for supply curve is 8 plus 1.6p. So we have derived the equations for demand and supply curve both. Now let's see the second part. It says cigarettes are subject to a federal tax of $1 per pack. How does this tax affect the market clearing price and quantity? We know earlier the price paid by the buyers and the price received by the sellers was equal to $5, and the quantity bought by the consumers and the quantity sold by the sellers was also equal to 16 billion packs. But now let's see what changes have been introduced due to the imposition of tax. Now a wedge has been created between the price that buyers pay and the price that the sellers receive, and this wedge is equal to $1. Buyers pay $1 higher than what sellers receive, but the quantity demanded and the quantity sold still remains the same. Let's understand this with a diagram. See, earlier the price was $5 when there was no tax, and the quantity bought and sold was equal to 16 billion. But now a tax has been imposed, and due to the tax imposition, let's say the supply curve shifted to the left. And due to this, the quantity bought and sold has been reduced. Let's say the following changes have been introduced. The price paid by the buyers now increase, and also the price received by the sellers reduce. But the quantity bought and sold remains the same. Here, this is the price paid by the buyers and this is the price received by the sellers. So now let's derive what these prices are through this equation. Now we have two equations. One is this, and the one we have derived for the quantity demanded and supplied in the previous part, which was equal to, the demand curve equation was 22.4 minus 1.28 PB, and the quantity supplied equation was 8 plus 1.6 PS. Hence, solving these equations simultaneously, this is equation number 2 and this was equation number 1. So we get price paid is equal to 5.56 and the price received is equal to 4.56. The new quantity that is bought and sold is equal to, we can find it either by the demand equation or the supply equation. It will be the same irrespective. So let's see, 22.4 minus 1.28 into 5.56, which is equal to 15.3 billion. And similarly, if we do it, the equation quantity supplied, it comes out to be the same, 1.6 into 4.56. It is also equal to 15.3 billion packs of cigarettes. Hence, after the imposition of tax, the price paid by buyers is 5.56 and the price received by sellers is 4.56. Price paid is 5.56, and the difference between these two is paid as tax, which is equal to $1, and the quantity bought and sold also reduces to 15.3 billion packs. Hence, hence the market clearing hence the market clearing price has increased to 5.56 from 5, and the quantity has reduced from 16 to 15.3 billion. Let's move to the last part. How much of the federal tax will consumers pay? Okay. The earlier the price that consumers were paying when there was no tax was equal to $5. After the imposition of tax, the consumers pay equal to $5.56. Hence, due to tax, the extra price that they have to pay as tax is equal to 5.56 minus 5, which is equal to 56 cents. This is the tax that consumers pay. Next, what part will the producers pay? Producers earlier were receiving $5 when there was no tax, but after tax they received only $4.56. Hence, 5 minus 4.56 is equal, which is equal to 44 cents or $0.44. Hence, the consumers pay 56% of the $1 tax and producers pay 44% of the $1 tax. So this completes our question. I hope you got a better understanding of competitive markets and taxation through this illustration. Thank you, everyone.